It is a normal thing that people generate fear towards math, which in turn makes it difficult for them to understand the subject. However, I see maths differently, and fortunately, I've taught several students using my unique style of imparting knowledge. Not only did they excel in their various exams, but they also learned to apply mathematical concepts to solve real life problems. Math is simple, math is fun. Today's we'll be looking at how to calculate percentage without using calculator. This is basically for people into agency, those that are agents, buying and selling, receiving commissions, affiliate marketers. You need to watch this video. How do you calculate percentage without using calculator? In today's lesson, after today's lesson, we'll be able to learn how to calculate percentage without using calculator. No matter how large the figure is, we'll be able to calculate it without using calculator. Yeah, join me. The topic is calculating percentage without using a calculator. Without using a calculator. How do we do that? It is very simple. It is very, very simple. Let's take, for instance, an agent is having a deal of 3 million. And they receive they receive commission based on percentage. So you have a deal, you are selling probably a land or a property for 3M. Your commission is 5%. To calculate it without using a calculator is very, very simple. Let us take a look at it. You have a figure, 3 million. That is the amount of the property, and you receive 5% of the property, of the sales of from the property. To do this, the simple logic or the simple trick is, firstly, you calculate the 10%, because calculating 10% is very, very simple. The first thing you do is to what? Calculate the 10%. Then after getting the value for 10%, you divide it into 2. Then you have your 5%. Are you getting the logic? Calculating the 10% of 3 million, all you need to do for calculating 10% of any amount is just to reduce a 0. You take away a 0 from the amount. Now we are having 3 million. All you need to do is just to take 1 0 from the 3 million. That's all you need to do. You take 1 0 from the 3 million. Then you have what? You have, let us write, taking 1 0, you have what? You have 300,000. You have what? 300,000. So that is your 10%. Your 10% is just taking a 0. So this is your 10%. Your 10% is 300,000. That is the 10% of 3 million is what? 300,000. So after calculating the 10%, all you need to do is just to divide the 10% into 2. Dividing 300,000 into 2, you have your what? 150,000. You have your what? So your 5% will just be what? 300,000 divided by 2. So you have your what? 5%, which is 150,000. Are you getting the logic? Let's take, for instance, the money is 5 million. All you need to do is to calculate the 10% by taking away a 0. Then you have what? You are left with 500,000. So your 5% will be what? Divided by 2. So this is your 10%. So you divide the 500,000 divided by 2, you have your 5%, which is 250,000. Are you getting the logic? If it is, for instance, the commission is 20%, all you just need to do after calculating your what? Your 10%, you times 2. Are you getting it? So it is very, very simple. With this logic, you'll be able to calculate percentage without using a calculator.
Let's take a recap. Calculating percentage of any amount without using calculator. All you need to do is to calculate your 10% because this is very simple. All you need to do is to take away a zero. After getting your 10%, you either multiply or you divide to get any percentage you want. For instance, you want 5%, you know your 10% already, you divide 10% by 2. That gives you your 5%. Or you want 20%, you times the 10% by 2. Or you want 15%, you already know your 10%. All you need to do is to add 5% to the 10% to make 15%. So your 10% divided by 2, so you have your 5%. The figure of the 5%, you add it to your 10% to give you your 15%. Do you get it? If you understand this logic, give me the answer of 15% of 500,000 without using calculator. Write your answer in the comment section. Always remember, math is simple. Math is fun. If you enjoy this class, subscribe, like, share our video with your friends and family. Bye.